Simple data entry error. That's why I try, whenever I can, I try to give you stuff to do in Excel on exams and quizzes, whenever I can. It's easier that I had some, when I was in college, I washed dishes and I bartended quite a bit. And one of the push jobs we had, we got paid $4 an hour on top of our bartender salary to go in every Saturday from 8 to noon and do data entry for the dining hall I worked at. And it was great because we got the $4 over, this was 1990, whatever it was, 1992. So, you know, $4 an hour over your hourly wage was pretty decent back then. My God, I would never do it again in a heartbeat. Data entry for 4 hours every Saturday. I'd rather pull my nails out with a pair of pliers, seriously. And this is in the days before Windows and everything was like this blue screens with the amber and the cursor key and you were like, what are you talking about, rule? Yeah, anyway, data entry is a pain in the butt. And I try to save you guys whatever I can. So, anyway, we got an average of 17 states, and we got a standard deviation of about 11, looks like. Should we use it with 28? Oh, got a good question? Go, please.
Where am I?
I don't know. Right, currently bent.
I'm trying to get to L2 from the last data.
He's trying to got this information in L2, did that, he hits one of our stats.
Oh, it's looking at L1.
Yeah.
So just do this. I did the same thing with mine. Type one more stats, Eric, like you did before. So just go to stat, calc, one bar stats, but don't press enter. Put an L2 after it. Second 2. Now press enter. And it'll give you your L2 stats instead. That's what, because mine was in L4. So I had, let me see. Oh, you got too many in a row, brother. You have a multiple command. So one more stats, L2. And there they are. Resist the urge to keep putting a whole bunch of them. If you put a whole bunch of them in a row, your TS will get fisted too. So it's okay, just when in doubt, brother, when in doubt, check this out. Press clear. When in doubt, press clear and start again. You generally need very few commands to give you. So one bar stats and then wherever your list is. Cool? Excellent. Okay, we've been on average 17 states. Should we use that? See, I don't know. This is where I want to go look at the data and see, because what am I maybe worried about? Not to point fingers.
48.
I'm a little nervous. I'm a little nervous about that. I haven't been to Maine, I haven't been to Hawaii, and there's 45 over here. Maybe, it's a small data set, 28. 28 data points. It's a small data set. Those could be extreme enough to really be pulling the states. If you think about what an average means, it means sharing, right? It's an equal share. So essentially what Shanley and Eric are doing is they're taking those crazy states and they're giving away a hunk of theirs to the low states to bring them up. That might or might not be accurate in describing what's typically going on with these states, yes? So I think, let's make a quick histogram. I gotta readjust because my data is now in L4. Okay, quick zoom stat. There it is. Okay, this was my fear. My fear is that we got some skew going on, which usually happens with this. Did you guys finagle with the curve? Once you got into here, I like to finagle. I like to make it like a more logical kind of setup. I'm gonna make, let's see, X-min. I'll make the X-min 0 if it's okay with you guys. If that's okay. I'm gonna make the X-max, believe it or not, I'm gonna make it 50 in this case. And I think I can get away with this time. Because nobody was at 50 or above 50. And I'm gonna make my scale by 10. Scale by 10. So the first, there'll be 5 bars, yes? 0 to 10, 10 to 20, 20, 30, 30, 40, 40, 50. Fair enough?
Yes.
And if you don't like that, we can always refine it. Let's hit graph and see what it looks like. Oh! I may have to change the window a little bit to get that caught in. Although, one way to make it fit better is just to make more bars. You can just make more bars, but I'm going to change the window to bring that big bar up there as a mess. Let's make this 15 and see if that does it for us. There, that did it for us. So again, it looks a little more bell-shaped right now, but we still got this little hiccup on the tail out there, a little Stegosaurus. I'm pointing at these two for doing it, Stegosaurus out there. Now, if you want to see how multimodal this thing can be, maybe knock the number of bars down again by making them narrower. Excuse me, make more bars by making them narrower. So you can make the X scale 5 instead of 10. That'll make twice as many bars. There they are. And again, this was what I was concerned about. I was concerned about this. We've got this like hump, and then these residual little burps at the end. Not calling you guys burps, but statistically, your little burps at the end. And that's awesome. I love that. I love when data looks like that. Because it means generally there's something going on. And before I even tried to figure it out, Shelly said I'm a long distance trucker. So boom, that makes perfect sense. You technically are in a different data set than everybody else because you've got that variable that we don't have. Eric, why do you travel so much? Just out of curiosity, if you don't mind sharing. You're at 45, it's high above the rest.
Well, my parents took me on vacation this year.
Excellent! That might be a variable not applicable to other people. You see, this is what statistics does. It raises these questions. Why are you guys so high? Why are they so high? I've done this study on the East Coast and the West Coast. What's interesting, although it's pretty believable, on the East Coast, where is this curve compared to your guys' curve? Where would the East Coast hump be? Further this way. Why? Look at those states on the East Coast. That was back in the 1750s when people cared enough to measure borders. Delaware, yes, get the compass out, yes. This circular border. By the time you get to Wyoming, what the hell? Make it a rectangle, take the damn thing. Now, seriously, that's essentially, look at the West Coast, for God's sake. Those states are huge. You can drive for 8 hours and still be in Oregon. You drive for 8 hours from Delaware, you're in Florida. It's crazy. You wish you were home. But that's interesting. It's interesting to see those discrepancies. Although I love the individual outlier discrepancies here. Have you guys calculated percentile ranks for yourself? Good, what do we got? Zach? 20th percentile. He's been to more states than 1 in 5 people. I love it. Give me some other ones. Sheila, who are you? 94th?
Ooh, I did it wrong. Never mind.
No, what did you get?
No.
I guessed. I wasn't calculating yours. I guessed yours. What is it? What's 27 divided by 28?
27.
Well, you beat 27 people, right? I'm sorry, I'm talking too much.
don't know.
I should have just asked the question and let her answer. Sorry, Shaylee, what did you
I
get?
don't know.
Well, okay. So how could Shaylee was the 48. She visited more states than any of us, correct? So she's exceeded 27 of us. So 27 divided by 28 would give the percent that she's exceeded, correct? That's why I guess 94. I mean, is it 94 close? 96, there we go. 96%. 96, cool, call it 97th percentile. Shaylee, you're the 97th percentile. Eric, that would put you at about the 94th then, yes?
93rd.
93rd, beautiful. Good, Zach?
I think you said earlier, why couldn't she have been the 28?
Well, this is a great question. Zach asked a very, very good question. It's a very apropos one, interpretation of a percentile. Why can't we just call Shaylee the 100th percentile? The main reason is it's a tiny data set. In a large data set, if she was truly the highest, suppose the data set had 100,000 people in it, and she was the highest, then she's technically the 99.99999th percentile, which essentially is 100%. But with a small data set, the highest point is still kind of a few percentage points down from 100. So we can get it to not just 100, but a little place of precision better. Is that fair? Sure. Although some people will call the 100th percentile, just like they'll call the 5 the 0th percentile. Is that fair? Good, very good question, Zach, very good question. Other percentiles, throw them out. Where's my median? 71st percentile. Who got close to the median? Rob, what were you?
50.
You were the 50th. Boom. So that means, I can't do it from unsorted data. I can do it, I can find you. Let me look at the data list again. Let me see. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. You ended up, was it exactly 50 or we rounded to 50?
14.
Well, technically, I see. Okay, thank you for this. I wasn't thinking about this. Who else has been to 14 states? Who else has been to 14 states? Yes. So all 3 of you, technically speaking, should be at the same percentile, right? Technically speaking, because you all exceed the same number of people. So let's think about this. How many people do you guys exceed? Well, technically speaking, you don't exceed each other, right? You don't exceed each other, which means you exceed 11 people in total, correct? The 12s, you exceed the 2 12s, the 3 12s, the 4 12s, holy crap. 4 12s plus the 10, that's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. No, I meant 11. Did I count wrong? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I was counting wrong. So you guys, technically speaking, exceed 11 out of the 28, which would be what percentile? That's the 40th percentile. Does that make sense? Now, Rob, I love what you said, though. I love what you said. Technically speaking, do you know what the median of this data set is without running one of our stats, although we already ran one of our stats? Do you know what the median is? Remember, there are 28 data points in total, which would mean the median would be directly in the middle of them. which would be between 14 and 15, yes? So let's go find it. Have you noticed over here it tells you where you are on the list with this little reference number here? It's kind of slick. So the 14th data point is actually 14, the 15th point is 16. The median would be right between them, which would be, technically speaking, 15. That would be the divider between the bottom half and upper half. This is one of those annoying things that technology makes useful for us. Although, Rob, I love what you said. Because how do you rank you, Cheyenne, and Dean? You guys have the 14s, yes? How do you rank? Is one of those bigger than the others? No. Is one less than the other? No, they're all the same, right? So what some percentile formulas will actually do, oh God, I'm talking too much. They'll actually count you guys within. Let's come back to this on Thursday, yes? Leave this data in a list. Don't get rid of it. Huh? We'll go back to it. We'll come back to it. Don't lose it. I got stuff to return to you guys. I apologize. You didn't stop me.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I want to tell you